Hello, my friends of Hatari Labs. My name is Saul Montoya. Today I'm going to talk about a sustainable approach on groundwater permits. Okay, based on cases of my country and the places that I know, most of the water permits to use groundwater are given just according to a certain regulation that is mostly that you have to fulfill requirements. Okay, you do some tests, you use some essays, you measure some samples. Okay, and the regulator gives you a water permit. And this approach is far from sustainable because actually doesn't take into account how if the rate that you are pumping is equal to the rate of the inflows or the recharge to the aquifer, or how the rate that you are pumping are affecting some ecosystems and other users. Because this kind of evaluation requires numerical modeling, requires a huge database, and just for a simple user that will be so extensive and so expensive to fulfill. In fact, there are some aquifers that are more regulated because they are facing more problems. Okay. However, on the normal groundwater use, the water permits are just a simple, a simple procedure for the regulator. In order to fulfill the sustainability approach, we need several components. Some of the components are comprehensive evaluation about how the aquifer works, how the water tables are decreasing, how the water tables are increasing, which are the potential impacts of groundwater change. Okay, but this is only on the technical part. On the human resources, you need to have a highly trained, capable, and enhanced regulator that could turn the coming regulation into something practical. Okay, then we have awareness on the users. So if we use awareness of users to follow the procedure and to follow the approach of a sustainable use of the groundwater resources, and as well concern from the media about relevant topics regarding groundwater use. Okay, so what we want is to decrease the cases of groundwater extinction, groundwater mining, and other issues. Well, these are issues related to the flow, but there are other issues related to the quality as well. So okay, every country, every part of the world is different. Okay, so I don't pretend that this will be the same situation for all of you. However, a fully sustainable approach is possible, but we need to have a step approach in order to fulfill a fully sustainable approach. Why we need a step-by-step approach? Because because if we set up something that is completely sustainable, it will be too complicated, it will be too expensive, we won't have the human resources, people won't follow the regulation. Okay, but if we just insert some concepts of sustainability in the coming version of the regulation, in the end we will end up with something sustainable. Okay, something that is missing as well is the dialogue. Okay, because the dialogue needs to be in all levels. Okay, and mostly that the dialogue has to be in the civil society as well. So and it should not come from just one technical authority, but it has to come from as well institutions, organizations, or just people. Okay, that will enhance much the alternative that we can approach. Just to remember, if we reach a sustainable approach on the groundwater use, our coming generation will use the groundwater in the same way that we have used today, okay, or we have already used it, okay. But if we don't reach that, I mean, what we will give to our coming generations, okay. So that is the main issue. Okay, thank you.